Welcome to the Flexible Curricula channel, your one stop for anything education with your host, Nate Berm. Though we normally consult for schools and districts, we also strive to help parents who really want to be in the know for their kids' education. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up, share, or leave a comment. If you want to see more of our videos, hit that subscribe button. Now, today's video is focused for parents, and it's a way to help identify what would be an ideal school to send your child to. Now, this is an important uh, task because you have to decide when moving which district you might want to send your child to, or if you're going to choose an alternative of a magnet school or a charter school or a private school. How can you really know that you're going to end up getting the ideal school or in a school that's on the way up, a school that's improving? This video is to help you figure that out. Now, there are a lot of metrics available about schools. This can be helpful to know where to send your child. For public schools and charter schools, there's some easy ways to find these metrics. They come in test scores, graduation rates, per pupil spending, and even how much they end up having for what percentage is on free and assisted lunch programs. All of these have factors in terms of what is the situation of the school, and is it a school that is on the way up? Is it improving? And looking at how they've done with these numbers over the last few years, is it improving or is it on the way down? Now, for private schools, it's a little harder to find that information, but it can be found. Now, just because a school or a district, whether public or private, is doing well today doesn't mean for the years you want to send your child there, it will be continuing to do that well. It might be on a downward trend and you got in at a high point, which would be a detriment to your child. So how do you really know? Well, here are some ways to actually look at the school without needing to necessarily look at the metrics. Assuming you've looked at all that information and you're still not sure, these are some ways to actually help figure that out. The first one is cleanliness. When you walk around the school during the school day, not when there's a parent night and they spend extra time with the custodial staff in order to make sure that it looks pristine. If you were to have an impromptu visit or a visit during the school day or come in during the school day, what does it look like? Is there a bunch of garbage on the floor? Is there a mess? Or is it very well kept and well maintained? Now you might ask, well, what does this have to do with anything? The idea is that a school that's improving is based on the characteristics and the traits that the students are being emboldened with. Are they learning healthy traits, ones that help build community, build respect, build a sense of identity and self-worth? If you aren't having a clean school, you're not going to have this. Now, please don't mistake clean with old. Some buildings might be very old, but the building is very clean. And so the age of a building should not be mistaken for how clean the building is. Sometimes the cleanliness of the building, that's something that's up to the leadership within the school, whereas the age of the building might be a financial one beyond the school administration's ability to do anything with. It might be a district issue, it might be a budgetary issue, but well beyond the scope of what a school administrator can do, but the school is still doing well if it's being kept clean. The next thing is to observe students, their behavior, not in the classroom, not how students are doing in the classroom. A lot of times people come in for visits to see schools, check out the schools, they go into the classroom, look in the school, they might have this child actually experience the school for a day. It's not what they're doing in the classroom that's going to make or break a child. Yes, it is helpful, but it is not the best measure of metrics to find that out. That happens to be outside the classroom. What happens in the halls during passing time, in the lunchroom? These are times that students have much more freedom to express themselves. And are they expressing themselves in a healthy way, in a positive way, or in a negative way? Are kids being isolated? Are they being bullied or teased, which is a form of bullying? And all of these things are not helpful. But if you aren't looking for those things when you come in, you might have missed, is the school really doing the best for character education to help the children build community, to actually build up the school, which would mean no matter what they stand in terms of economics or in terms of background experience, things can be made up if you have a sense of community, because then everybody is working towards a common goal for success. The last one is parental involvement. What amount of parents attend parent-teacher conferences? What amount of parents are actively involved within school boosters, within other types of school activities in order to actually see their child and see the success for their children? Do they attend sporting events or other extracurricular activities in that school? This says a lot about the community component of the school, because where you have high parental involvement within the school, you tend to have a much more positive potential for growth within the school. Why? Because it's a team that works to help a child, parents and school. And when you see that parents aren't so involved, normally it's because there's a breakdown in communication between schools and parents. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't be fixed, or it might have been that no one has actually put forth the exponential effort in order to actually create and build such a mindset. But as parents become more and more involved and more connected to a school, schools by definition will do better because the children know their parents are invested in the school doing well and their child doing well in the school. And it's that partnership that allows children to flourish. In schools where that's not the case, and I remember very vividly where I was teaching in a school where out of 70 students roughly within that semester course, because it happened to be an Algebra 1 block where I had them for double periods, spring semester, of those 68, 70 students, I had 3 parents show up. And another teacher told me that that was a large turnout. I could see in teaching the school, I knew that the morale in the school was poor. The school was working its way down. I had left at the end of that year looking for another school much more positive. I did find one. However, the idea is in that school, it was just working its way downward. And the administration, unfortunately, did not create a school for growth. It was working its way down. And a few years later, the school had to completely revamped because of it being a failing school. So these are, once again, 3 main points to look at beyond the regular metrics that you might have otherwise missed to know what is a great way to check out if a school is really working its way up and improving that you want to send your child to, how clean it is, how well the students behave and interact with each other outside the classroom in the school, as well as what is the amount and level of parental involvement in the school. These are 3 ways to tell very quickly and very easily with an observation from coming in to see the school, whether or not this is a school to send your child to. Thank you for watching the Flexible Curricula channel. Once again, I'd love to hear what you see. Please give us a thumbs up. Also, feel free to share. I'd love to hear from you if you have any thoughts of what you think might be great tells in order to know what makes a great school from just quick observations from coming in. If you want to see more of our videos, hit that subscribe button. Please feel free to contact me at nateb@flexiblecurricula.com if your school or district would like some guidance in growing your students towards academic excellence. Thank you.